Hi guys, please follow me today as we spend a day with Professor Delican, one of the gurus of anesthesiology in the country. We will hear a few words of wisdom from him and then be present at the launch of his latest book, The Memoirs of Alex Delilkan, Scholastic and Sports. Cheers.
Graduate from Singapore, right? To start off with. Born, bred, educated, school, primary, secondary, and then university, the medical faculty, right? Singapore. People knew me more as a sportsman, because my photograph would be in the sports page of every week. Seniors, when they were ragging me, they insisted I put they made me stick a label on my forehead. National sportsman, medical student, sure fail one, sure to fail again. No sportsman had ever graduated and maintained his both, the sports career. There were sports famous fellows, Michael Parry, all these fellows. But once they entered university, one thing had to give, either they had to give up their sports and pursue their degree, or they had to continue their sports and fail and never made it. There were some seniors, all the fellows who former sportsmen, all the fellows who gave up their sports. So they told me to write an article, which it's in my book,
I see.
This book. University of Malaya, the graveyard of sportsmen. So in the front page, of this magazine, and the Vice Chancellor's office. So I remember Professor of Geography called me up. I was still freshie, man. First year. And the first year was pre-med, the Singapore course, because there's no A-level. So it was a 6-year course.
I see.
So anyway, I went up, I was shivering. I'm not in schoolwork. And the white man, Vice Chancellor called me in the office. Did you write this article? So I said, yes, sir. I was forced to write by the seniors as part of bragging. How dare you write this? University of Malaya, the graveyard of sportsmen. And I showed the figures, of previous fellows who had to give up one or the other to go along. So he said, anyway, let me tell you this once more. If you ever write anything like this again, I'll get you sacked from the university. I was shivering. I almost cried. I'm very sorry. Medical school. I failed the exam. That's why I tell students, I'm very proud. I failed the exam. Then when I go back to Singapore as external examiner or something and give a talk, so I tell them I'm proud I failed the exam.
And maybe that's why you're always flexible with your students before.
No, that's why I tell students, I always tell students, failing exams doesn't mean you're going to be a bad doctor. And passing exams with distinction also doesn't mean you're going to be a good doctor. It's after you graduate and you meet the patient, that's where you're a clinical doctor. So a failure in exams can be a good doctor, medical doctor. A fellow distinction case in exam can be a very bad doctor.
Okay.
Sports in UMS MMC, who formulate and manage the recent pandemic as MMC, is one of the hospital that treat COVID recently. So
let's join me in welcoming Dr. Anson Rao.
Good morning, everyone. It gives me great pleasure today to say a few words about Professor Delilkan and then proceed to launch his book, The Memoirs of Alex Delilkan, The Conjoint Careers, Scholastic and Sports. This book talks about the conjoint careers of Professor Delican and relates how he managed to juggle both careers as a national sportsman as well as being a medical educator and an anesthesiologist. As you all know, Professor Emeritus Datuk Dr. Alex Delilkan, he became a pioneer staff in the setting up of the first academic department of anesthesiology at the University of Malaya on 1st June 1965, making last June his 55th year as an academician at University of Malaya. He started the first critical care services in the University Hospital, Kuala Lumpur in May 1967. He then proceeded to become associate professor and then held the chair as professor of anesthesiology and intensive care in 1978. And on 4th August 2004, he was conferred Emeritus Professorship. In 1978, Professor Delican was instrumental in designing and writing the blueprint for the postgraduate training and certification in anesthesiology in Malaysia, the Master in Anesthesiology program. And in 2009, he was inducted into the Olympic Hall of Fame Malaysia for national contribution to sport and also to medical achievements simultaneously. That is, for contribution to the country as a cricketer and national captain, and also for contribution to the country as a medical educator and to patient care as an anesthesiologist. He was also ordered the Panglima Jasa Negara by the King in 1998, which carries the title Datuk for all his contributions above. Up to now, Professor Delican has published 18 books related to anesthesiology and critical care and has 106 papers published in international journals. Today, at 86 years of age, he still lectures medical undergraduates at local universities and is regularly called as an expert witness to give opinions in the medical legal field. Without further ado, I would like to invite Professor Delican to come on stage to present autographed copies of both his books to the President of the MSA and to the President of the College of Anaesthesiologists. Professor Delican. President of the MSA, sir.
Legend in Malaysia. A round of applause to Prof. Alex Delilkan. And thank you very much to Prof for agreeing to give away a token of appreciation, the book, to both presidents. Thank you. And as Dr. Anson Rao said, Prof will be available outside if anyone wants to have his signature or autograph. Thank you very much.
I got your copies, eh?
Yeah.
It's down.
So where to get the books?
No, yeah.
Okay.
Come.
Okay, to go.
Prof.
Scotch first.
I'm shaking. I'm really panicking.
Just break the pen. Change the pen.
Give you one single knot, it will stop.
Nowadays they don't produce pens as they used to do, sir.
Yeah, poor quality pens. Sometimes the table is shaking.
Hi, guys.
Must take out the mask.
No need lah.
Come, register.
Go.
surgeon keen in critical care. There's no captain of the ship and all that. You see, that's why I teach critical care. And we team with the surgeon and we provide peri-operative care. And medico-legally, you will be in trouble if you don't see your patient pre-op. And you must take the consent yourself. Separate consent. So it's peri-operative care, pre per post, not give gas and go home.
Datuk Jaga, tell me about your experience with Prof. Did he mentor you during your studies?
Oh yes, without Prof I will never be an anesthesiologist.
Why?
He was in surgery.
I was in surgery.
And then?
I came to change over and then
he wanted to change over. And then I went and spoke to
the Padma, is it Prof, the dean that time?
If you look up anesthesiologists today, his specialty and expertise is anesthesiology and critical care. That's the difference. I'm a critical care specialist, and critical care covers a bigger area, not just giving gas. Yeah. When many people think anesthetists give gas and put people to sleep, or young doctors, they'll come and ask, what discipline shall I take up in my career and all. My answer is this, which I went through. I was in different fields, surgery, medicine, pediatrics, etc. But when you find yourself, this is in all aspects of life, and work, when you find yourself that you're happy at work, that's your field.
Yeah. Would you have a message for Malaysians?
Well, I keep saying this in anything, when people ask me, what's the message, my message is keep the flag flying.
Thank you very much for joining us.